I suppose we should start from the beginning as well. After removing the sock and dust cover, we need to start taking the panels out, or those that you feel are faulty. A few things to remember. There's 4. If you know for a fact that the top one is faulty, then it's generally simpler to take the lid off and unsolder the wires, unscrew the screws, and just pull it straight up and out. But if any of the others are faulty, and or the top one, it's just as easy to leave the top on, and what you do is you start with that one there to pull out. The reason being is that it can slide out, and then the rest can slide out easily. This one would also slide out. This one you lift up and then out, and the top one you lift down and out without having to take the top off. So really only need to take that off, the top, if you know for a fact that it's only the top one. Now this is, of course, after all of the wiring has been unsoldered and the screws have been taken out. And that's what I'll show you now, is how to unsolder these. Straightforward. Now swap it around and do the other side. The orange wire is normally stranded wire, so you need to be a little bit careful with it, undoing it from the lugs. It's sometimes hooked on, so you have to take away a fair bit of solder before you can remove it. But take your time and you'll get there. You only need to disconnect what's separating the panels. You don't have to completely remove it. And it's usually a little loop there, as you can see. Disconnect that. I've unsoldered all the wires. The stator wires to the different parts have all been unsoldered carefully, and now the next thing is to actually take the completed panels out. Now, as I said, if you don't wish to take the top off, you take out one of the center ones first. I generally take this one out purely because it's at the top. I use a number 2 screwdriver, posi drive or Phillips. This is a Phillips actually. The number 1 screwdriver is too small. Undo the 4 screws. Right, it's now loose. Sometimes it gets a little bit tight with the clips, but with enough gentle persuasion it will come out. So we just slowly take your time, bring it out sideways. And there we have it, the first one is out. I generally do it from the front, of course, because that's where the screws are. Okay, first of 4. second one. Number 3. Okay. Oh, whoops. I forgot a wire. There's one wire on the back. What I forgot was to, there's the high tension wire coming up from underneath, and it's unsoldered, but the little clips are still there, so I'll simply loosen those clips and feed the wire through, and we'll be right. I haven't removed the clips, I've simply loosened them so that the wire can just follow through. There we go. Number 4. The orange one, the orange one in the middle is the high tension 5.25 kV, and all the grey ones are the high voltage audio that goes for the stators. So for the time being I'll just simply hook these in here so that they don't get damaged. You do all of those, and when all of them are out, we can get back to repairing the panels as we've started to work out and work on. Okay, see you shortly. The next thing I do is label each of the panels. Take down their serial numbers and note where they're from. The orange wire is usually indicative of the rear side, holding the high tension into the diaphragm, and the other side of course is the front. So I write down the serial number of each, and also on the panel itself. For example, here I'll write number 4 front, because it's the bottom one. I always go from number 1 at the top, and ideally I should put the serial number on them on the back side as well, and the front, but for the moment you'll most likely know which speaker it is. You can either write down the serial number of the panel or the speaker itself. You turn it over and write number 4 rear, and that way you know which is up and which is down. So you can do a little arrow if you like. We are now ready to for the next phase. Next video will show the cleaning off of the old glue and removing the old diaphragm. See you next time.